Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the new release of the complete, and I mean uber complete, film score by Howard Shore to Copland. Remember Copland? I don't. I don't remember it at all. I know what it's about, but I never saw it. And I don't have any plans to, actually, although the story looks like a good one. Let's see. This movie came out in 1997. And for those of you who only know Howard Shore's work from Lord of the Rings, you should also remember that he did The Silence of the Lambs, and he did Copland and a bunch of other scores. He's a fantastically talented composer. And this is the super duper uber deluxe edition issued on Quartet Records. It's a fabulous film music label that seems to have filled in for the giant gap left when Verrey's Saraband was sucked up by Concord Music, which is now something else. I have no idea where that went. But thank God Quartet is here. Yay! And is filling in some of the gaps. Howard Shore's music for Copland is marvelous. It's incredibly brooding and moody and atmospheric. But in order to understand where he's coming from, it does help to know something of the plot of the film. Believe it or not, whether you watch it or not. It stars Sylvester Stallone. It's got a great cast. I mean, it's like all famous people. You know, Sylvester Stallone and Robert De Niro and let's see who else is here. Harvey Keitel and Ray Liotta let's see who else is in this. Oh, Annabella Sciorra and Robert Patrick and let's see, Peter Berg and oh gosh, what a cast. Yes. But that's not the point. The interesting thing is the character of Sylvester Stallone, who plays the sheriff who is deaf in one ear because he rescued a girl and found out deaf in one ear when he was a kid and couldn't join the New York City police force. He always wanted to join the New York City police force, but it concerns, he's the sheriff of a corrupt town in New Jersey called Garrison, which is a very appropriate title. Now, corrupt towns in New Jersey are nothing new. Anybody who has worked in New Jersey knows about corrupt towns in New Jersey. I mean, that's only a partial joke, because I did a lot of work in New Jersey in the real estate business, and trust me, there are corrupt towns in New Jersey. Anyway, the bottom line is that this town is largely inhabited by New York City cops who live across the river in New Jersey, because it allows them to be corrupt, basically, with the cooperation of Sheriff Freddie, who is Sylvester Stallone here, who I'm told from the notes gained 36 pounds for the role so that he could look fat and lazy. Anyway, there's a whole crazy soap opera-esque imbroglio that these cops get into because one of them shoots a couple of black kids on the George Washington Bridge. It's a great brooding music for the George Washington Bridge. I mean, I've been over the George Washington Bridge a billion times, and it never sounded like that. Anyway, but then again, I didn't murder anybody when I was on the George Washington Bridge. He kills these two black teenagers for no good reason, and there's a cover-up. They fake a suicide, and then they put him into hiding in Garrison, New Jersey, and there's an internal affairs person who's trying to do an investigation. That's Robert De Niro, and they're all frustrating his investigation, and they're also dealing drugs and doing. It's just a sinkhole of sin and corruption, and the story itself involves Sylvester Stallone finally recovering his conscience as a cop and realizing that he can't protect these people, that he has to do something. And of course, that causes great consternation among the protectees. And they all try and, some of them kill each other, and they try and kill Stallone, and then Stallone kills them, and one of them turns state's witness and also becomes kind of a good guy. And there are women who are there for, female reasons. And then Stallone is still in love with the woman he saved and lost the hearing in his ear, who happens to coincidentally be married to a cop who's corrupt, living in Garrison, New Jersey, and he's abusive, but they still have feelings for each other, even though they never really had feelings at the beginning. Anyway, it's It's a soap opera, is what it is, with guns, lots and lots of guns. And it's really a very sensitive score that Howard Shore has designed. Yes, there are scenes of great brutality, and there's a darkness because the whole town is corrupt. There's a brooding darkness that sort of undercuts the entire thing. And it's just enormously powerful. I mean, he uses electronics very effectively. There are some lovely melodies, some motives that pop up periodically. The very opening with sort of sharp chords interspersed with gentle harp passages is very, very unlike what you might expect. It's not in, sort of adventure action movie at all. And Shore has an ability, I think, to get to the human heart of a lot of these things. And Stallone's character, who's really quite sensitive, really does, encourage Shore to create music that's uneasy, disturbed, morally questionable. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. So anyway, that's Copland. Now this reissue, first of all, it's conducted and produced by Shore. It was and sonically, it's absolutely marvelous. You get the complete film score as it was used in the film. So that's like a bazillion tracks. It's 2 discs, by the way. That's disc 1. Disc 2, you get the original soundtrack album, which I actually enjoy because there's a lot of music of great similarity here, or tracks that sort of go nowhere, as always happens when you get the actual film score. Whereas the original soundtrack cleans it up a little bit and gives you sort of the longer pieces and the main themes I think in a more digestible way. But it's either way, it's wonderful music. And then you also get a whole slew of bonus tracks, alternatives and things that made it into the film or didn't make it into the film, but it's all splendidly done. It's over 2 hours of music. It's 135 minutes of music, which is like lots and lots of music, and I just think that this is a terrific piece of work, an exceptional score to a really very, very interesting movie. I mean, I joke about these things because I'm not going to watch the movie, but it sounds like a really interesting movie, and the music certainly makes you want to watch the movie. I mean, I may even watch the movie because I heard this, and I'm very curious to know how all of these things slot into what I'm hearing. And that's, I think, the mark of a really good film score. I mean, by the time I got to the end of this, I started out saying what I told you. It's a movie. I don't have to see it. I'm probably never going to see it. And then by the end, I sort of thought to myself, maybe I want to see it. Because now I know what it sounds like. So I may want to see what it looks like as well. You can have a listen and decide if you come to the same conclusion. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.